Hey everyone, it's Kyle here, and guess what time it is? It's Megaman time again! Even though this time we are not going to be in 8-bit. Now, for some reason I feel like skipping like about 4 or 5 years of games and move right on to Mega Man X4, which is considered the most popular in the series. In fact, I think it is. Now, as for why I'm doing this Mega Man X game first, even though that kind of skips ahead a lot in the story, it's because this is the one I know the most besides the original. I mean, I don't even know X8 that well. Now, in terms of this game added to the Mega Man formula and X in general, besides some upgrades, which we'll get to whenever I do the first game, it adds actually a fairly good storyline at times. You know, this is not one of those times. Some animated cutscenes, some voice acting, which is very laughable, mind you. And just a lot of overall charm to it. I mean, the music of these games as well is just still fantastic. That's one of the main things I love about Mega Man. Now, you might be wondering who the heck are a lot of these characters. Some of these are exclusive to this game and Mega Man Extreme 2, which I will be doing at some point. But this red guy right here is the main guy who we'll meet later on in X1 whenever I do that, but he's pretty much Zero, who is X's best friend, and is actually one of Dr. Wily's creations. X is still was still Dr. Light's creation. Although, from what I've heard from some people, X might just be a very well upgraded version of the original Mega Man. So when I got a wonder, is that really what happened? I mean, we don't even really know, because Zero, I might as well tell you this, his original purpose was to kill Mega Man. And either Mega Man got really badly injured in X, and Light just turned him into X, or something else happened, but I don't know. But anyway, yeah, X4. Now, there are actually a lot of cutscenes in this game, but really quick, I need to do some stuff over here. I'm actually entering, or at least going to be entering, a password here really quick. For this, there are two. You see, I'm going to be doing ultimate armors for this game. For X's ultimate armor, on the character select screen, plus circle twice, left 6 times, and hold L1 and R2 until the game starts. You'll know you're doing it right when X is not dark blue and light blue, but dark blue and a bit of a purplish. Oh, there's right cutscenes. I'm going to be quiet now.
It's about the Maverick Hunters, General. They are far too eager to please the humans and continue to hunt down the Reploids. Do you believe they pose a significant threat?
Perhaps.
You already know the truth, General. Their sole mission has been to destroy any Reploids who fail to do as the humans order. It's in your best interest to stop them now, before they turn on you. You possess enough power to destroy them!
Dismissed.
What?
I will not betray the humans. Remove yourself from my sight. My business with you has concluded.
Very well. But you will change your mind soon, I assure you.
Well, that totally wasn't foreboding. And that, by the way, that guy, the guy with the yellow shoulders is named Colonel. He's a lot bigger than he looks there. And you will see later on. Anyway, it turns out that an army, apparently, that it appears to be Repliforce, who is a force of Reploids, well, is dedicated to serving themselves. Reploids, by the way, are what the main characters of the series are. Yep, and by the way, look at X, he's actually supposed to be, instead of purple, he's supposed to be light blue. That's how I know I did the code right. But Reploids, they're a creation of Dr. Light, because X is the original one of them, along with Zero. But they're pretty much robots that have their own conscience and their own will. They don't have to follow orders, even though they still can. See, that's what sets X apart from maybe the original Mega Man, is that even though the original Mega Man had his own will, he couldn't really disobey orders. He had to obey them. Anyway, new to the game series, in terms of what I've played so far for this channel, which has only been 2 and 6, is that there's a dash command, which is circle. You actually get that in Mega Man X1, but I'll do that at some other point. Hey! And this is Dragoon from the 14th unit. And apparently these guys destroyed this thing, even though he was right here guarding it. That doesn't seem suspicious at all. And plus, unlike Mega X actually himself has a character, he highly dislikes violence. To the point in which in X7 you don't get him until you rescue, I think it's what, half the Reploids in that game? And there's been a massacre. Now, as you saw a couple minutes ago, there is a character select screen. I will be doing both playthroughs, but I'm doing X's fully first. Just because there's a certain dialogue piece in Zeroes, which I'd rather save for last. Oh, those who have played this game before know what I'm talking about. In fact, we'll get to how laughable the voice acting is really soon. Especially, by that I mean the next animated cutscene. By the way, be careful not to get crushed by any of these falling blocks. They will kill you in one hit, and pitfall. Left over here, there's a full life restore, and there's a life to the right. And Rory at the first stage's boss. Now, like most bosses in the Mega Man X series, not so much with X with the original, the intro stage bosses are gigantic, but at the same time, pathetically easy. The only game in which the X series intro stage boss series is as gigantic as the first one. Really, just charge up your shots and shoot him, and he'll be good. And bada bing, bada boom, he's dead. Time for a big explosion. Why does everything in these games explode? Then again, I mean, sure the robots, but still, that makes no sense. And this is Colonel, a character who's appeared a lot in the Mega Man franchise. Even though he first appeared in this game, he would later appear in Star Force, I think. No, wait, no, not Star Force. Battle Network, where he is in a lot of ways identical, actually, in terms of appearance. How many characters keep their appearance the same? And even Mega Man gets his small aesthetics, but I'm not going to go into Battle Network. But yeah, that was the end of the intro stage. New to the series at this point was saving, but I don't need to save at all, even though I will after every part. Cutscene.
Brave soldiers of Repliforce, we have all been wrongfully judged as mavericks by the humans. We cannot suffer this indignity and live in disgrace. We will build our own nation of Reploids. But remember, this is neither about insurrection nor rebellion against our human creators. This is about our liberty and security. We must battle for our own individual rights and our own survival. Together we will build our nation, a sanctuary for all Reploids, our own utopia. Let us forge onward towards a new golden era for the Repliforce. Yeah!
I too share the general sentiment. Take heed, we have no other choice. Let us fight valiantly, with courage and pride, without fear, for we are the Repliforce. The most powerful army in history!
The General has finally taken action. And now, my Maverick Hunters, what will you do? I'll be watching closely from here on out.
Okay, two things. One, that guy's laugh is very evil sounding. And two, how about that voice acting, huh? The greatest army in history! Oh god, this game's voice acting makes me laugh sometimes. Although there is a certain clip, like I mentioned earlier on, that it will make me really laugh. And now we're introduced to our 8th stage. The jungle, the cyberspace, the Air Force, the volcano, blah 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 blah. I already know my route, even though, like I said before, I'm doing an ultimate armor run, because for some reason I didn't feel like doing a normal one. So I'm going a bit out of order, but I'm still going in basic. I just have to go over to Web Spider here first to get what I need. So let's head on in. Come on. By the way, that guy on the right there is Double. He's the generic fat, chubby, jolly guy. At least at this point. Web Spider. I'm not going to read that thing on the left there because I won't until I actually play the stage later on. And by the way, immediately something you'll notice when you play this game is that, especially in stages like this, the graphics are actually really good for the PlayStation. Very well done. Especially the water. I love the way that water looks. I always have. And right down here is where the entire reason I came to the stage first. An armor capsule. This is usually where you would get the leg upgrade, but the ultimate armor, which I'm getting here, gives you all the armor's abilities anyway. Air dash, mid-air dash, jet boots, the protection, blah 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 blah, and the plasma shot, which just shows us the best one of all of them. It also has its special ability, which is extremely overpowered, unlimited use of the Nova Strike, which I'm using right now, which is Nova Strike, sorry, which is extraordinarily powerful. But I won't be really abusing it unless it's for going over certain. The only time I'll really be abusing it is in the next stage. And I suicide 3 times off screen, so I can get to here, so I can go to the stage select, so I can get to my actual order of stages. To Magma Dragoon. That's right. The guy from the first stage of the game is actually a traitor. Now, actually, nice little detail here is it says he betrayed the irregular hunters and hid himself inside a volcano. Now, this confused me as a child, because irregular hunters I never mentioned in the game series. That's because that's the name for the Maverick Hunters in Japan. The Maverick Hunters, by the way, is the organization that X and Zero work for. They both hunt Mavericks, and Mavericks are Reploids who have either gone, well, Maverick, of course, or, in this case, gone traitor, tried to destroy humans, or gone overall evil. Now, this is by far the best use of in the series. I mean, in the entire game. It's just this one stage with the ultimate armor. And in terms of the Maverick virus itself, it actually Zero at one point was actually also a Maverick, but that gives spoilers to his side of the storyline, so I'm not going to go too far into it. But for the past 3 games in the series, X and Zero have been fighting a man known as Sigma. He defeated him once in X1, again in X2, and again in X3. Zero dies at the end of X1, even though I know it's a spoiler. And he gets reconstructed in X2, blah 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 blah. You fight with him in 3. That's basically your catch-up for the series. But Sigma himself was actually infected in a certain way. I'm not going to spoil it because that is yet again a spoiler for Zero's storyline with the Maverick virus. And for some reason, with him, something went extremely wrong. But that is kind of spoilery for X5. I can spoil the past games, but I'm not going to spoil anything really from this game or the next. And while I just got there was a heart tank. It extends your life bar. There are 8 in the game, 1 per stage, and some of them get really well hidden actually. And now we have a ride armor, a gimmick of the Megaman X series, which are pretty much powerful mechs, which kind of remind me of Gundams for some reason. Now, lava is a majority of the time instant kill, but it won't hurt this thing at all. And unique to the series, as far as I know, you can actually take this thing into the boss fight, which is actually a way you're supposed to destroy him. And he's been waiting for us, just perfect. And apparently he let the first stage fall. It was all his fault, like I said. It was oddly suspicious, and I was right. And Magma Dragoon fight begins. Now this guy actually uses a lot of Street Fighter moves. He just did the Shoryuken. He can also do the Hadouken. I don't know if he can do that spinning kick, but he can breathe fire. He's overall, unless you're good at the game and you know what you're doing and you can bring the mech in like I did, this guy can actually be rather tough, but I know what I'm doing. In fact, this boss fight, I think, by the way, a lot of the game is easier to me as X, but that's only because he's a ranged fighter. And he's done. Also, note that he doesn't have a Repliforce insignia under his life bar. Instead, he has something else, which is actually a nice little touch they did for a couple of bosses. And we are strong, blah blah blah. Someone appeared and told him to work for Repliforce so that he could go and X into fighting. And he dies. And we get Rising Fire, which shoots fire upwards. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. Shoots fire. Bleh. I can't speak today. Anyway, I completely forgot. It's not the end quite yet. I actually decided to save in memory card slot 2 because my slot 1 is running out of data. Anyway, now, thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And next time we will go forward in the game and take on, I want to say his name is Frost Walrus.